So be it, Jedi.
What's going on, guys? Back in another video. I'm willing to bet that if you're watching this, you probably collect Hot Toys. But I'm curious, do you collect any other scale? 1/12, 1/10, 3 3/4? Or are you just, a cold-blooded Hot Toys collector? And if you are, what are your thoughts on smaller scales? Now, I'll preface this by saying that I personally think that Hot Toys in 1/6 is probably the pinnacle of collecting for me. It's what gives me the most joy, the most satisfaction, the most bang for your buck, if you will. But to be honest, recently I've been having my eye on 1/12 scale. It's a tenth of the price, roughly, $30 versus $300 on average. So I think you could assume that it's 1/10 of the quality, 1/10 of the satisfaction, because as collectors, we are addicted to that buy. We are addicted to that dopamine that we get from buying action figures. So you would think a Hot Toys is going to give you 10 times as much satisfaction as a Black Series figure or Marvel Legends. And I don't think it scales that same way. Prime example, I just bought Star Wars Black Series Darth Malgus. Now, Hot Toys has a Darth Malgus currently in the oven, coming out soon. I really do like the 1/6 scale version. But for me personally, and for this character, as much as I like that figure, as much as I want it, I'm not made of money. So it's really hard to justify spending $300+ on that figure that I don't have as much of a connection to as, another character per se. So to avoid not having any representation of the character at all, I spent $35 and bought the Black Series version. And all things considered, it's a pretty cool little action figure. Another example, I have Quinlan Vos from the Black Series on pre-order, and I have Starkiller Galen Merrick on pre-order. Two figures that I probably would never buy in 1/6 scale, but I like them for what they are, right? Especially since I've been delving into the comics, the Dark Horse Star Wars comics, and Quinlan Vos is like the dude. So definitely recommend, if you want to learn more about Quinlan Vos as a character, those comics are essentially where his character came from. I digress. There are other examples. I would never really buy a 1/6 scale Wolverine figure, but I bought the Marvel Legends Weapon X Wolverine. I think that this could be applicable to many collectors and many different scenarios. I know there's a lot of, taboo or sometimes just a stigma around the 1/6 community for collectors that, sort of perceive 1/12 scale as, cheap and really not to the level of Hot Toys. And obviously it's not, but I don't think it should be discredited, right off the bat. If I was, made a lot more money and had a lot more space, I would buy all the action figures I want in 1/6 scale, because I wouldn't have to worry about, spending the money on it or displaying it properly. So I think, for each individual person and collector, that's gonna vary. And I don't think there's any right or wrong way to do it. If you want to buy only 1/6 scale, that is your representation, that is, the scale you want to collect, by all means, that's your prerogative, that's you. If you want to supplement your collection with cheaper, more affordable, smaller scales for characters that you really can't justify spending big bucks on, again, by all means, that's your prerogative, that's what you want to do. I really don't think there is a right or wrong way to go at it. And another caveat, some people collect 1/6 scale and they also collect statues. That's like another tier above 1/6 scale. If I could afford statues and afford the space to have them, by all means, I would have statues. Prime example I'll give you, if that Sideshow Mythos Asajj Ventress 1/5 scale premium format statue goes on sale, I'm going to buy that. Right now, to buy it, from a Sideshow, it's like $700 shipped, and that's a little bit more than what I would be willing to pay for it. But Black Friday's coming up. If that ever goes on sale, I'm going to pull the trigger, because I know there is a quarter scale that a lot of collectors would probably rather have. I think if there's anything you could take away from this video, or just me giving you my opinion, if you are a mainline Hot Toys collector and there's a character that you kind of like in 1/6 scale, but you don't want to spend the money, check out the 112 scale version. I mean, they're fun. They're fun to play with, fun to pose around. You don't really have to worry about breaking anything or degradation because they're all plastic. And as I said, I think that having the representation in a smaller, cheaper scale is better than not having it at all, right? Keep an open mind because I am, and eventually when I upgrade my display and I have more room, I'll probably display some 112 scale stuff. If not, you can always put it in a bin, in a tub, and not worry about, paint rub or something happening like you would a Hot Toys figure. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Are you a strictly Hot Toys collector? Do you dabble in 112? I know personally I like the way that Mafex figures look, but not really looking to spend Mafex prices on them. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, see you in the next one.
I'm sorry, sir. It's time for you to leave.